check. Good! Literally, okay, good. It just gets better, I guess. Geometry, that's what I want to talk about today. Now, I use geometry in at least 2 dimensions, harmonically and rhythmically. At the very least, I'm using it in 2 dimensions, but geometry is as many ways as you can apply it. Not limited to anything. Let's talk about one aspect of geometry that relates to this track that you just heard. So, you can tell there's a feel change, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes and eighth notes on those quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and but every other note is being accented. That's a square when every other note is accented. Give me some triangle. I group the eighth notes in 3. This is not a metric modulation. This is not a polyrhythm. This is just changing the grouping of eighth notes by accenting every 4 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Squares, triangles. Now, let's talk about another geometry that people have kind of been asking me more about. How I literally like come up with scales and solos and lead lines. Okay, I only realized this yesterday. Shout out to Ananda. We were jamming yesterday and she made me realize I never think of scales. I only think of scale degrees that I can enclose or just mess with your expectation of what scale degree either belongs in that tone set or should belong in that tone set. So here's what I mean by that. That to me is just like, oh, it's E major with a quick turn the minor third. How do you deal with that if you're trying to improvise on that line? Well, the first clue is don't stray too far from the line. That's your first clue. But the second clue is when you start to get a little bit more distance from the core, this is how you're doing it. So I'm literally just thinking about thirds against the root. What can I do with thirds? I got 2 thirds. Why not use them both, especially if the melody is using both thirds? Obviously, I'm trying to hook up at the point in the melody where the thirds are changing. That's the goal, and that's if you really master the tune, that's what you're doing. You know, I may or may not actually pull it off here, but you know, that final take that you put on the album, ideally it will have a moment where I really nail that third motion in my line. How am I going to get a little bit more perverted on that melody? Stay with it, right? Like, I don't always know where I'm going. I just know that if I have this melody as like a reference point in my head, I know when I'm congruent with that melody and when I'm not congruent with it. The melody is the primary source material. You know, not all these scales and all these things. That's why I don't think about scales as much as I think about these, whatever the bass is playing, whatever theoretically would be the melody. Because the thing is, the melody isn't even happening. I'm playing with the melody. I'm doing different things with the melody. Geometry is all about how can you mix up 12 notes? How, like, all the different ways. And then how are you emphasizing scale degrees within that juggling of notes? I want to emphasize thirds, so I'm thinking I have all these false finger ideas that I always do. Because I love to do this sound. That way I have less notes and I can think more about the rhythm. Then I don't have to overthink the harmony in the first place. I don't even think about scales because I'm more focused on creating a rhythm with less notes. And that's the other answer to that question, you know, with your scales and stuff. If you think about rhythms, you'll find that you don't need that many notes at the end of the day. Especially us guitar players. We have this machine device and it has all these opportunities, like, you know what I'm saying, like I can cheat. To me, that's like cheating. Like that was cheating too much, started to sound bad, but you know what I mean? Like you have to find the ways to cheat. And the geometry of the fretboard is a big clue to that. Good, dude. Too good. Too good. Wait till Monday. It's even better. Monday is going to destroy you. It destroys me. More. Like I don't even know what to say. Anyway, good.